So if you want to apply data governance, you have to put the filter for yourself. So you will say, well, like for security, you say, I want to apply all the security controls to be eligible or be able to get the ISO 27001, for example. Or for the quality of the ISO 9001, for example. So I need to have some targets for it. So you can use this maturity model. See where yourself now and aim for higher. And you know what you are doing over here is impacting or improving what the business process is. Now, we'll go quickly through some of the frameworks that relate to data governance. Okay, you realize now, focus data, understand data governance, and you put a target for yourself to go for, which is based on the data governance maturity model. So how can I start? What's the framework? Shall I go and build something, or there is something already made that can? Actually, we're gonna look at 3 related frameworks. First one is Jumbo, the data management book knowledge, which gives very detailed information about data management. TOGAF, the Open Group Architecture Framework, which gives one of the activities there is building the data architecture, which is something that you need. COBIT, Control Objective for Information and Related Technologies, which has something related to the information security, data security and privacy, which is something deep for the data governance. So I'll try to go quickly through this slide, just to give you an introduction about the data management book now. It's a generalized and comprehensive framework for managing data across the entire life cycle, developed by Data Management Association. It provides a detailed framework to assist the development and implementation of data management processes and procedures. By itself, it's not a solution for the data management, but it's needed. TOGAF, on the other hand, it defines a process for enterprise architecture definition including data. And we're going to see the following slide where the data architecture activities occur within the framework. So in TOGAF, and in TOGAF, we said that it provides a very detailed framework related to data management. In TOGAF, it gives you a high level where the demo can help you to take that high level and break it down. So COBIT is concerned with IT governance, and a lot of people, they do have this misconception that data governance is IT governance. It's totally different. Data governance has some aspect that is listed with one of the domains of COBIT, or IT governance.
Excuse me, you mean by TOGAF is tools or what?
TOGAF is a framework. TOGAF is a framework for Open Group. It's actually for the enterprise architecture. Takes you from visioning to business architecture to your information architecture, technology architecture, etc. And this framework, some of the organizations are using it to build their IT strategy to some extent. So what I'm talking here about is not the tools, all are frameworks. Okay? So within a COBIT, it has a process that is related to data management, but it's not all about data management. Neither TOGAF nor COBIT are concerned with detailed data management, design, and implementation, which DIMPOC is offering. So we have, COBIT has something to do with data governance. TOGAF has something, and DIMPOC. So let's see. So this is what I show you, where the data architecture is happening, which is related to the data governance. It's happening with the information system architecture. So it has 2 sub-activities, one to build the data architecture, and one to build the solution and application architecture. And the data architecture, which is going to be the reference that captures all your data within your organization and the relation between the data. So the data architecture within TOGAF, the purpose of it is to define the major types and sources of data systems to support business. Okay, you want to build your enterprise architecture, take it as a general. You need to know what data that you have. Okay, so you have to go to all the systems, break down, and find all the data used in the systems. And try to build the architecture, the mapping between the data and how the data that is within that system is used with that system. You need to understand the relationship, because what is happening nowadays, if you want to put some of the system down, or one business process is down, do you know what's the impact? We don't know. We just look at physical things and we say, well, that's what would be there. But we don't know about business processes that will be. Or about if the day one of the data gets corrupted. what's the effect of business processes? We try to guess what are the applications and what are the business processes of that application that use the data, and we should not consider it more because we have corrupted data. So the data architecture to be generated from TOGAF will be generated in a way that is understandable by stakeholders, complete and consistent, and stable. I'll try as much as I can to capture all the data within my organization. So, look, data architecture is a subset from some of the artifacts that will be generated from TOGAF. But what I'm saying here that there's some aspect of TOGAF, because there is no such a data governance framework. There is some, let's see, some newcomers or newcoming frameworks. But what I'm trying to show to you that the data governance actually is there. But you need to take some part from TOGAF, some part from COVID and DILBOG, and then you can make your data governance. But enterprise architecture nowadays is needed for any organization. Because in the past we don't care about mapping. Yeah, we just think about servers, databases, that's it. But what you need to look at is you have your infrastructure, technology infrastructure. Okay? And you have to double fit your business process. Then you have to double fit your data. So you have the mapping. So if one of the servers got shut down or got malfunction for any reason, you shouldn't say that the server is down. Nowadays they're going to ask you what the business processes are being mapped. So you can say, based on the mapping, these are the business processes that you going to impact on what you okay? And data architecture doesn't care about the design of logical or physical storage system. I don't care about how you put your entity relationship, etc. I care about data. I don't care about the mapping, the relationship between this data and the other data, etc., or the attribute, etc. I need only the data. So I'll just focus on the last one. In COVID, what is the part that is really important for us in data governance is the issue, actions related to backing up data, testing illustration, managing on-site and off-site storage of data, securely disposing of data and equipment. These are the things within COVID that is of interest to us when it comes to data governance or management. So where is the data governance between all these frameworks? So in DILBOG, we know that it has data development, data operation, management, reference and master data management, data warehouse, document, etc. We have in charge of data architecture, management, and migration. And COVID, we have the data security. So data governance is the intersection of all the three frameworks, where you're going to have all these being listed on the slide. Use it, that will form the data governance for you. Wait. Now, each one is a journey. Each one is a journey. Let's take, for example, the enterprise architecture. If you talk about the greenfield organization, it might be kind of easy. But if you talk about the brownfield organization, it will take years to build that. But what you need to do from TOGAF, you need to complete the whole cycle. Once you have the data architecture, that's enabled for data governance. When you have the policies from the COVID related to the data security, backup, etc., that's what you need to put for data governance. And you will take the detailed information from the DILBOG, and that's how you get a manage your data. So we can't look at the data, what's the issues, and realize the importance of data governance. And we see the relationship of how we can create frameworks to build our data governance. Now, we are in the era of big data. We've been hearing big data many times, and I can say how you can find a conference. There is no session for big data. It becomes the big data era. So what's the definition of big data? Let's look at it. Big data exceeds the reach of commonly used hardware environments and software tools to capture, manage, and process it within a tolerable elapsed time for its user population. So it's something beyond our usual reachability. The other definition, big data refers to data sets whose size is beyond the ability of typical database software tools to capture, store, and manage and analyze. So, what is big data about? Is it about volume? It's about 3 V's. It's about volume, which is we are witnessing. It's about validity. We have big times or many times on data. We have structure, semi-structure, etc. Look at the sources of the data. Tremendous. I mean, with the use of social media, with the use of the digital world, the sources of data becomes endless. That's maybe the dimension of data is big. And also the velocity. We have batch of data. We have real-time data. So the graph of the data is coming up. So big data is about 3 things: volume, validity, and velocity. So what do you think our mission for data governance? Easy. When they built the data governance, they were thinking of data governance technology. With the introduction of big data, now they're starting with terminology. Say, we need to think of big data governance now. Things is getting better now. And there is a published book about big data governance. And they are trying now to see what things need to be added to the regular data governance to accommodate or maintain the issue of big data. So, what else we can use the data for? We have also the analytics. We have the big data era, and we will also talk about analytics. Again, a lot of conferences is touching this topic there. If you look to the CIO survey, you're going to find that business intelligence and analytics is among their top priorities. Let's look at this slide. One in 3 business leaders prefer to make critical decision without information taken. So, third of the senior management, they use their personal knowledge, their individual knowledge to make decisions. But do you think that they are able to do it this way? No, because they couldn't find information valuable at the right time. 53% don't have access to the information across their organization needed to do their job. Again,